That's what we want to dive in right now with former Trump attorney and DOJ prosecutor Jim Trusty. Jim, what do you make of this?
Well, you know, this is kind of you reap what you sow. I mean, the bottom line is it's so flat out unethical for a prosecutor to announce, I am going to target somebody. That's my basis for running for office. And the problem, I think, in a lot of ways, is she's never been held accountable for that. You know, she had the joy of operating in a New York courthouse that kind of played along with this charade of a civil case against President Trump. And if you're waiting for the New York bar to care about prosecutorial misconduct, at least in this instance, it's like waiting for me to play in the WNBA. I mean, it's probably not happening in our lifetime. So, look, I think there's a lot to look at. And I would just say this, Griff, you know, the same recklessness in terms of her ethics that has her announcing, I'm going to target the man and find a crime or find a basis for liability, probably means that there could be some internal communications that get subpoenaed that are devastating in terms of her intentions and her desire to deprive President Trump of office and deprive his voters of their civil rights. So I think that's the game here. Use the grand jury to get subpoenas out, get those communications, find out if she buried some really horrific communications about targeting, but also even exculpatory information that she should have turned over during the civil case. Either one is kind of a win for the administration.
Yeah, Jim, James's attorney responded yesterday saying this, weaponizing the Department of Justice to try to punish an elected official for doing her job in an attack on the rule of law and a dangerous escalation by this administration. That's what she says. But again, so for our viewers, this is a situation of deprivation of rights. As I tried to explain, when a figure of legal authority, in this case, that's Letitia James, deprives a citizen, who in this case is Donald Trump, of his constitutional and legal rights. Do you believe that the bar has been met for deprivation of rights here?
I think it's early to know for sure. I mean, and that's really what that investigative process is all about. Find out what the back channel communications are, find out what her minions would say in terms of her intentions. Look, the starting point in terms of you showing those clips, that's kind of the beginning of the opening statement if this case goes to trial someday. Like, you have motivation to deprive President Trump of office, which is a civil right. It's also, you might define it in terms of civil rights of voters for Donald Trump, so it might be broader than that. But there's a couple of sections of the U.S. Code, I think it's 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242, which just adds color of law. Those are both the sections that are in play here. And again, I don't prejudge that it's going to lead to a prosecution, but I think the investigative process is going to be fascinating behind the scenes to see what that office turns over to these subpoenas and what the government makes of it.
Great insight, former DOJ prosecutor Jim Trusty. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Sure thing. See you, Griff.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.